So let's begin to look at some of the changes we're making and why. One of the things that I said at the beginning of this year was that Omni Education has gone all in on redesign. It's the thing we know inside and out. There's aspects of it that I know extremely well and have a lot of expertise in, but I don't know everything, and I'll be the first to admit that. So I contract other practitioners that do. Why are we going all in on redesign? It's not because it's the cool thing to do. It's number one, the thing we know really, really well. And number two, if it's done well, it is one of the biggest things that can impact racial inequity. And that's what we want to do. I said that last year. We made a statement when all of the situation happened with George Floyd, which was just tragic. And just a collective awakening happened in our country that was long overdue. Let me completely admit that is long, long overdue just as a country. But I was one of many business owners that said, we believe in equity and that's important to us. And I wasn't just saying it because it was the cool thing to say at the time. I said it because I meant it. And I constantly think about it in my business because my dad always taught me your word is everything. If what you're saying isn't true, what do you have? So when I'm thinking about hiring, when I'm thinking about the work we do, who we impact, equity is always what I'm thinking about. Okay, so how can we have our say and improve the equity gaps that exist? Well, the thing we know is developmental education. Well, how do you change that? Well, the thing we know to be very, very true is that the faculty and their role in it is absolutely central. And so that's always been our vision, is that we are for faculty, by faculty. We very much care about faculty, but everybody says that. And I'm going to be really honest with you. There isn't a group out there or consultant who is working in this space who doesn't say, yes, we value faculty engagement, and yes, we value their faculty commitment and buy-in. Everybody says that, but not everybody actually really works with that in mind. Here, I'm just going to tell you the reality. I'm in all kinds of meetings and groups and large groups and small groups, and I've been in all kinds of convenings and committees and you name it. I've been on lots of stuff in my professional career. And I've heard lots of conversations about administrators and lots of conversations about faculty. And the reality is that faculty are often seen as difficult and that entity we have to deal with, but boy, if we didn't have to, life would be easier. In some ways, faculty, it's kind of how we feel about students. It's like, we're there for the students, but sometimes, if we didn't have to deal with students, the job would be so great. We all laugh, we say that, but we know that they are difficult, but they are what we're there for. And that's exactly a lot of times how most administrators recognize that faculty are what make a college or university often what it is in terms of what it produces and offers to students. But they also recognize that faculty can be very difficult. And I know of what I speak. I've been faculty for a long time, and I know a lot of faculty. And yes, sometimes people are difficult just to be difficult. Some people really do just like rabble rousing for the fun of it. And some people don't mean to be difficult, but they just really they just kind of are what they're doing because they're very well intentioned and they're very committed to their philosophies or what they believe. And I understand that you have to have healthy skepticism is a part of things. But where I'm going with this is there is a lot of talk about how we really care about faculty and we really care about faculty engagement. But when you actually look at what that means in terms of when different groups or people or whoever are working with faculty, I know because I've been in this situation. I was the token faculty member in a committee or in a room, so we can say we included faculty and we could check the box. But they weren't really interested in hearing what faculty had to say. Now, is that always the case? No, and I want to be absolutely clear with that. It isn't. Does it often happen? Yes. And when you're talking about big reforms, really large reforms, especially in the space that affect developmental education, faculty do not have a central role at all. And I've seen it for well over a decade. They appear, they're at the fringes. It's like we can say they're included, but they're not really included. They're not included on decision making, and their perspective is just kind of like, yes, we get that. And then we keep moving forward. So one of the places where I want to plant my flag and be absolutely clear is we do recognize that faculty can be challenging. I'm not going to say they're not. They are, but they're also absolutely critical to making the changes that we need to in developmental education. And so one of the things that we know how to do well is build buy-in, and not superficial kumbaya, but like real legit buy-in. That is something that is, for me especially, that is one of the strengths I have. I'm a mediator. I'm good at getting people to come together and let's try to find a compromise that everybody can live with. And that's something that we're going to go all in on because it matters. It really does make a difference to all this work. Well, let's just say we care about faculty. No, let's actually come up with something that they believe in and they can live with. Okay, more on that next week.